Hello everyone, Dr. Mandell here. If you're over 65 and you've noticed your eyesight getting blurry, your night vision fading, or you're struggling to read fine print, I want you to pay close attention, because today I'm going to share a simple before-bed food that supports your retina, reduces inflammation, improves dry eyes, strengthens night vision, and nourishes the cells that protect your eyes from age-related damage. This food has been scientifically studied, and millions of seniors are now adding it to their nightly routine. For most people over the age of 65, vision loss doesn't arrive like a sudden storm. It creeps in quietly. It hides in the blur around streetlights at night. It lingers in the dryness that makes every blink feel heavier. It settles into the struggle of reading words that once looked sharp, but now smear like watercolor. But what if the solution wasn't hidden in a pill bottle or locked behind a surgery room door? What if one of the most powerful tools for nighttime eye repair has been sitting in your kitchen cabinet your entire life? Scientists are now uncovering the extraordinary truth. A single teaspoon of raw honey before bed can activate one of the most important healing systems your eyes depend on every night. This isn't folklore. This is biology. This is chemistry. This is the story of how a natural food, older than civilization itself, can support the repair of the retina while you sleep. When you close your eyes at night, your body enters one of its most important phases: cellular recovery. Your brain slows down, your muscles release tension, but your eyes, those delicate structures built of nerves, vessels, and photoreceptor cells, begin a deeply synchronized repair cycle. But here's the problem. As we age, we naturally produce less melatonin, the hormone that orchestrates nighttime healing. Less melatonin means slower repair. It means more oxidative stress. It means the fragile cells that capture light, your rods and cones, don't get the nourishment they need to function at their best. Scientists have found that low nighttime melatonin is directly linked to increased risk of cataracts, macular degeneration, and declining night vision. But here is the shocking twist. Raw honey naturally increases the body's melatonin production by raising tryptophan levels in the brain, just 1 teaspoon. One simple teaspoon triggers a neurochemical chain reaction that helps restore your natural healing cycle. When honey enters your system, its natural sugars, glucose and fructose, perform a strategic role. They stabilize liver glycogen levels, which prevents your brain from sending stress signals during the night. When the brain feels safe, calm, and supported, it releases more serotonin, and serotonin becomes melatonin in the darkness. This transformation is one of the most powerful biological conversions your body performs, and honey acts like a gentle switch that tells your system, it's okay to repair now. This is why so many seniors who take honey before bed report deeper sleep, fewer nighttime awakenings, and clearer, less strained eyes in the morning. Sleep is not just rest. Sleep is medicine, and honey amplifies the dose. But honey does more than support melatonin. It feeds the very cells that protect your vision. Researchers have discovered that honey contains over 30 unique antioxidants, flavonoids, phenolic acids, and enzyme-based compounds that neutralize the free radicals that damage the retina. Every day, your eyes are exposed to ultraviolet light, pollution, screen glare, and metabolic waste. All of this creates oxidative stress like rust slowly forming inside the tissues of your eyes. Antioxidants are the shield. They reduce cellular damage. They prevent the thinning of the macula. They protect the rods responsible for night vision. And honey delivers these antioxidants directly into your bloodstream at the exact time your body is most capable of using them, during deep sleep. But the science goes even deeper. Studies show that honey improves microcirculation, the tiny, delicate blood flow to the optic nerve and retinal tissue. As we age, blood vessels stiffen, nutrient delivery slows, and the optic nerve, which is responsible for sending visual information to the brain, becomes vulnerable. Poor circulation means fewer nutrients reach the cells that desperately need them, but the natural compounds in honey induce a mild vasodilation effect. They relax the endothelial lining of blood vessels, allowing smoother, richer blood flow through the microscopic channels that keep your vision alive. Better blood flow means more oxygen, more vitamins, more minerals, more protection. Imagine your eyes at night like a busy city shutting down for essential repairs. Some workers are fixing streetlights, some are reinforcing walls, others are cleaning the air. Honey supplies the power, honey delivers the fuel, Honey ensures the repair crews can finish the job before the sun rises again. And then there's the inflammation factor, one of the silent destroyers of aging eyes. Chronic inflammation disrupts tear production, worsens dry eyes, breaks down collagen, and accelerates retinal degeneration. But honey has natural anti-inflammatory properties that science has repeatedly confirmed. It contains compounds that reduce cytokine activity and inhibit the enzymes responsible for tissue irritation. When your eyes are less inflamed, your vision is clearer, your focus is sharper, your night vision stabilizes, and the morning dryness that so many seniors experience becomes noticeably reduced. Many people underestimate how fragile the eyes truly are. The retinal cells that capture the image of your loved ones, the sunrise, the words on a book, those cells never regenerate once they die. They can only be preserved, nourished, and protected, which is why every night of healing matters. Every microsecond of melatonin-driven repair matters. Every antioxidant molecule matters. And that is why honey has become one of the most powerful nighttime allies for seniors around the world. Imagine tens of thousands of tiny photoreceptors resetting, repairing, and recovering while you sleep. Imagine the microvessels feeding them with fresh nutrients. Imagine oxidative stress diminishing, inflammation calming, moisture returning, and visual clarity strengthening, all because of one simple habit practiced before bed. Most people think vision loss is inevitable. They believe it's just part of aging, a slow and irreversible decline. But science is painting a very different picture. The truth is that your eye cells can fight back if you give them the tools they need. Honey is not magic. It is not a miracle. It is nourishment. It is support. It is a biological partner to your eyes during their most important hours of recovery. And maybe the most astonishing part is this: the body responds quickly. When melatonin levels rise, sleep quality improves almost immediately. When antioxidant levels rise, cellular damage slows within days. When inflammation drops, dryness and irritation begin to ease. When blood flow improves, the optic nerve receives the nutrients it has been waiting for. This is why so many seniors say they feel the difference in just a few nights. Vision feels less strained, the eyes feel less tired, nighttime glare becomes less overwhelming, morning clarity improves, the repair system awakens, 1 teaspoon, a moment before bed, a natural food made by nature's smallest engineers, supporting one of your body's most delicate structures. The world may be full of medications, supplements, and complex treatments, but sometimes the simplest tools are the most powerful. And honey, taken at the right time, in the quiet darkness of night, becomes one of the strongest allies your aging eyes will ever have. Most people never think about the silent war happening inside their eyes. They don't realize that every second of every day, the retina, the thin, irreplaceable layer of tissue at the back of your eye, is fighting to stay alive. It's fighting against light exposure, against inflammation, against aging, against toxins, against screens, against pollutants, against stress. And as you grow older, especially past the age of 65, this war becomes harder to win. The cells grow more fragile, the antioxidants in your body decline, the damage begins to outpace the repair. But new research is revealing something extraordinary. A simple teaspoon of raw honey can deliver the antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds your retina desperately needs to survive. To understand why honey is so powerful, you have to understand what happens inside your eyes every time you blink. When photons of light hit the retina, they create a burst of metabolic activity. That activity produces free radicals, molecules that are unstable, reactive, and capable of tearing into healthy cells. In youth, the body uses its antioxidant defenses to neutralize them. But after 65, those defenses weaken dramatically. Studies show that older adults have nearly 40% less antioxidant capacity in the retina compared to younger individuals. This is why age-related vision loss accelerates so quickly. The macula, the center of your vision, begins to thin. The rods responsible for night vision begin to break down. The cones that help you read, drive, and recognize faces begin to fade. This isn't just age. This is oxidative stress destroying the cells faster than the body can protect them. And this is where honey enters the story with a level of biological power most people don't expect. Raw honey contains one of the highest natural concentrations of flavonoids and phenolic acids, two classes of antioxidants scientifically proven to protect retinal cells against oxidative damage. In laboratory studies, honey's flavonoids have been shown to reduce free radical activity by up to 69%, a level comparable to pharmaceutical-grade antioxidant extracts. When these antioxidants enter your bloodstream, they circulate through the tiny capillaries that feed the retina. They neutralize the unstable molecules before they can damage the photoreceptors. They stabilize the tissues. They protect the macula. They support the retinal pigment epithelium, the fragile layer responsible for absorbing light and protecting deeper cells. But the power of honey doesn't stop with antioxidants. What makes honey uniquely effective is the timing of its benefits. When taken before bed, honey supports melatonin production, a hormone that itself functions as a potent retinal antioxidant. Melatonin is not just a sleep hormone. Scientists now call it the guardian of the retina because melatonin boosts mitochondrial function in retinal cells and reduces oxidative stress during the night. Yet melatonin production drops steeply with age. Many seniors produce only a fraction of what they need. By raising tryptophan levels and stabilizing nighttime blood sugar, honey helps increase natural melatonin release, giving your eyes a stronger shield during the hours when repair is most active. This is critical because nighttime is when the retina attempts to clean itself. It removes damaged proteins. It rebuilds photoreceptor cells. It restores energy at the mitochondrial level. But this repair system only works if the retina has enough antioxidants. Without them, repair stalls, damage accelerates, vision declines faster, and that is why honey, with its unique blend of bioactive compounds, becomes a biological ally. It doesn't just protect during the day. It amplifies restoration at night. Scientists also discovered something remarkable. Honey activates a process called NRF2 signaling, a cellular defense pathway that switches on your body's own antioxidant genes. This means honey doesn't just provide antioxidants. It tells your body to create more of its own. It instructs your cells to produce glutathione, superoxide dismutase, and catalase, three of the most important internal antioxidants protecting your eyes from aging. These molecules defend the retina against ultraviolet light, screen exposure, inflammation, and environmental toxins. This internal activation gives honey a long-lasting protective effect that continues long after you fall asleep. But perhaps the most astonishing discovery is honey's impact on the macula. In multiple studies, honey's phenolic compounds reduce the accumulation of lipofuscin, a harmful pigment that builds up in aging eyes and is strongly linked to macular degeneration. Too much lipofuscin acts like sandpaper on delicate retinal cells. It slows visual processing. It dims sharpness. It reduces your ability to see in low light. Honey's antioxidants break down this toxic buildup, helping the retina maintain clarity and performance even in older age. Then there's the inflammatory side of the story. Chronic inflammation is one of the leading causes of retinal damage. Inflammation disrupts blood flow, damages tissue, and accelerates cell death. But honey contains natural anti-inflammatory compounds that directly inhibit inflammatory enzymes, calming irritation inside the eye's microenvironment. This reduction in inflammation improves nutrient delivery, strengthens the retinal blood barrier, and helps slow the progression of degenerative eye conditions. Many seniors who consume honey regularly report a decrease in eye dryness, redness, and morning irritation, all signs that inflammation is beginning to subside. This isn't just about clearer vision. This is about preserving independence, about protecting the ability to read, to drive, to recognize faces, to engage with the world. The retina is not like skin. It doesn't repair easily. It doesn't regenerate once cells die. It requires protection, nourishment, and antioxidants every single day. And honey delivers them in a way that is natural, bioavailable, and easily absorbed. Imagine your retina at night, tiny photoreceptors flickering like microscopic stars, each one capturing the images that become your memories. Imagine them being shielded by waves of antioxidants carried through the bloodstream. Imagine oxidative stress slowing. Imagine the macula stabilizing. Imagine the tender layers of tissue breathing easier, functioning smoother, lasting longer. This is what honey supports, not with magic, not with hype, but with chemistry, biology, and the timeless design of nature. Most people think vision loss is something that simply happens, but science is proving otherwise. Vision loss accelerates when oxidative stress outruns your defenses. Vision stabilizes when antioxidants strengthen those defenses. And honey, this ancient golden natural medicine, happens to be one of the richest antioxidant carriers ever discovered in the natural world. So when you take that teaspoon before bed, you're not just eating something sweet. You're feeding a system that is fighting every single day to keep you seeing the world clearly. You're giving strength to the cells that hold your memories, your independence, your confidence, your connection to life. And for your eyes, especially after 65, that support could make all the difference. Most people don't realize how much their eyes are suffering until the pain becomes impossible to ignore. It starts with a simple dryness, a faint irritation, a burning feeling that shows up at night or first thing in the morning. But for millions of people over the age of 65, that dryness is more than a minor inconvenience. It is a warning sign, a symptom of a deeper imbalance happening inside the eyes. A sign that the tear film, the thin protective layer responsible for moisture, clarity, and comfort, is beginning to break down. And when that happens, vision begins to decline. Night driving becomes harder. Light spread into starbursts. Reading becomes exhausting. The world slowly loses sharpness, but now scientists are uncovering something remarkable. A simple teaspoon of raw honey before bed can help support the moisture system of the eyes and reduce the symptoms of dryness that so many seniors struggle with every single day. To understand why honey is so effective, you have to understand the tear film, the microscopic barrier that coats your eyes. The tear film is only a few micrometers thick, but it performs one of the most important jobs in eye health. It keeps the surface hydrated. It maintains smoothness for clear vision. It protects against dust, bacteria, and environmental irritants. It nourishes the cornea with oxygen and essential proteins. But with age, tear production drops dramatically. Research shows that adults over 65 produce 60% fewer tears compared to younger individuals. That loss of moisture makes the surface of the eye vulnerable. Tiny cracks begin to form. Irritation increases. Inflammation rises. And the cycle continues. Dryness causes inflammation. Inflammation reduces tear production, and the dryness worsens again. But honey contains natural humectants, compounds that draw moisture toward them. When you consume honey before bed, these humectants enter the bloodstream and support hydration levels throughout the body, including the eyes. Honey helps the tissues maintain moisture longer. It stabilizes the tear film and reduces the rapid evaporation that causes dryness, burning, and irritation. Seniors who add honey to their nighttime routine often report waking up with eyes that feel calmer, smoother, and more refreshed. And that's not imagination, that's biology. But honey's power goes even deeper. Scientists have discovered that honey contains bioactive compounds that support the glands responsible for producing tears, especially the meibomian glands, which create the oily layer that prevents tears from evaporating too quickly. When these glands weaken with age, tears evaporate almost instantly. This is why so many older adults feel like their eyes are dry even when they are producing tears. Honey's natural anti-inflammatory molecules help soothe these glands, supporting their ability to produce the protective oils needed to keep the tear film stable. This means fewer scratchy mornings, fewer burning sensations, fewer moments of blinking excessively just to feel normal again. Then there is honey's effect on nighttime vision. As we age, the photoreceptors responsible for seeing in low light, our rods, begin to degrade. Oxidative stress, inflammation, and poor circulation all contribute to this decline. But honey supports all three systems that night vision depends on. Its antioxidants protect the rods from oxidative damage. Its anti-inflammatory properties calm the tissues that surround the retina. And its circulation-enhancing effects help deliver oxygen and nutrients to the cells that process light. Studies show that antioxidants can improve dark adaptation, the eye's ability to transition from bright light to darkness. And honey is one of the richest natural sources of these protective compounds. But perhaps the most remarkable part is honey's relationship with the cornea, the clear dome that covers the front of the eye. The cornea has no blood vessels. It receives all of its nourishment from tears. So if the tear film becomes unstable, the cornea begins to suffer. It becomes inflamed. It loses clarity. It becomes more sensitive to light. And because the cornea bends and focuses light, even slight changes in its health can alter your entire visual experience. Honey's moisture-supporting properties help keep the cornea hydrated during the night when tear production naturally slows. This means the cornea wakes up less irritated. It maintains a smoother surface. And smoother surfaces bend light more accurately, giving you sharper morning vision. This is why seniors who take honey before bed often notice something subtle but powerful. The morning blur begins to fade, the eyes feel less gritty, light becomes less harsh, daily tasks feel easier, the world feels clearer, and it all begins with moisture. But moisture is only one part of the story. Dry eyes aren't just uncomfortable, they're dangerous. Chronic dry eye increases the risk of corneal damage, infections, and long-term vision issues. The tear film is the first line of defense against bacteria and environmental toxins. Without it, the eye becomes vulnerable. But honey contains natural antibacterial compounds like hydrogen peroxide and methyl glyoxal that help support the immune environment in the body. When the body is internally supported, inflammation decreases, which strengthens tear production and stabilizes the eye's surface. It's a chain reaction of healing. And then there's melatonin. Honey naturally increases melatonin production through its influence on tryptophan and serotonin. Melatonin is not just a sleep regulator, it's also a powerful antioxidant found in the tear film. At night, melatonin helps reduce oxidative stress on the eye's surface. It supports deeper rest for the tissues. It reduces the damage caused by dryness. And since melatonin production drops significantly with age, honey becomes a simple and natural way to support a hormone that protects your eyes while you sleep. Imagine the surface of your eyes at night, a fragile protective film constantly evaporating, the cornea exposed, the glands tired, the rods trying to adapt to darkness, the tissues fighting against dryness. Now imagine honey entering your bloodstream, its humectants pulling moisture, its antioxidants calming inflammation, its bioactive compounds supporting the tear glands, its melatonin-enhancing effects protecting the tissues during sleep. This is not a supplement you swallow. This is nourishment that works like a silent technician restoring balance while the world sleeps. Most people assume dry eyes are something they simply have to live with, something that comes with age, something unavoidable. But new science tells a different story. Dry eyes worsen because the body loses the resources needed to maintain moisture. Vision declines because the cells responsible for low-light vision lose protection. Irritation increases because inflammation rises as tear production falls. And honey, with its unique composition handed down by nature, supports every system involved in keeping your eyes comfortable and clear. So when you take a teaspoon of raw honey before bed, you're not just taking a sweet treat. You're giving your eyes a chance to recover. You're supporting the tear film that protects your vision. You're helping your night vision stay sharp. You're providing moisture to tissues that desperately crave it. You're giving strength to the glands that keep your eyes hydrated. And in a world where dryness steals clarity from millions of seniors every year, that simple act becomes a nightly safeguard. 1 teaspoon, 1 moment, 1 natural gift that has supported human health for thousands of years. And for your eyes, especially as you age, that support can mean the difference between waking up with vision that struggles or waking up with vision that feels alive again.